Mawson Primary School is located in the ACT. It is in the Woden Valley, which is an older part of Canberra. We have a population currently of 295 students from preschool through to Year 6. Around 50% of our students have a language other than English as their home language.
So I guess what we believe here at Mawson School is that the general capabilities are the foundation of everything that we do. So that for us is how the Melbourne Declaration comes to life. We use the general capabilities to build the field in all of our areas. So for example, we use the literacies of science to be able to unpack the language that they will need to be able to access science. Sustainability is a very big focus here at Mawson. I work in the Environment Centre, and what I'm doing this year is using the geography curriculum with a sustainable focus. So we're sort of taking parts of the geography curriculum that are most relevant to the environment, and we're working units around those. So this year we've started to work with the Australian Curriculum Geography, and we want our teachers to be ready to do that in their classrooms when we need to start reporting against the achievement standards. So at Mawson School, the cross-curriculum priority about Asia and our engagement with Asia is very strong. So all of our students do Mandarin from preschool all the way up to Year 6, and they're learning very strongly about empathy, about ethics, and about intercultural understanding.
In our school we have mainstream classes where the students have 5 days of English language with the LOTE component of an hour to an hour and a half, or 1 day Mandarin programs and 4-day English programs. In our senior years from 3 to 6, the students are able to participate in a 3-day English and 2-day Mandarin language program. Parents have the opportunity to nominate for their children to participate in any of those programs. The majority of our children have no Mandarin language at home.
I try my best to integrate Mandarin into my everyday teaching, from daily routine, say good morning, 早上好, thank you, 谢谢, to signals to attend, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. So I translate all of that into Chinese. I find maths is the subject that I integrate Mandarin the most, because maths vocabulary is easy to master, and Mandarin give my kids another channel for their maths understanding. So it's not an extra thing for them, actually it's giving them another way to understand maths. And I integrate Mandarin teaching into other subjects as well. We learn rhythm and beat by singing Chinese songs, and we play Mandarin games to learn PE. In my Year 1, the ratio is 1/5 of my teaching time as Mandarin teaching, but because I'm Chinese, I can just speak Chinese anytime, and I believe teaching language in context is much more efficient and meaningful to kids.
Our teachers have participated in all of the Australian curriculum professional learning. We decided in 2012 to introduce a 1-day program in kindergarten. And the purpose of this was to provide the students with the vocabulary they needed, particularly in mathematics, and the understanding of the language conventions. The teachers of Mandarin language work very closely with the English language teachers so that the curriculum is delivered either through Mandarin or through English language.
Our preschool here at Mawson Primary School is quite unique because we actually sit within the school settings. This allows us to join in with whole school events. The children also become familiar with the other teachers working in the primary school and are able to build relationships with other students when they come down to visit us. As a preschool teacher, I still attend whole staff meetings here at Mawson Primary School, and I still do lots of professional learning around the Australian curriculum, as well as the early years framework. The 5 learning outcomes of the early years framework are aligned with the general capabilities of the Australian curriculum and are then extended on when children enter primary school.
With the Australian curriculum, we used our stand down time to start learning more about the Australian curriculum in the English component. During our professional development, teachers had the opportunity to look through the document and teachers had that time to look at their own stages or year levels to go through and look at the content and get a better understanding of how they would be using it. What Mawson Primary School did was we asked that the teachers started to highlight the sections of the Australian curriculum that they were covering in English, and we would have program meetings each term to discuss how the implementation of the English curriculum had gone. The planning meetings at Mawson Primary School involved the classroom teachers working together on the Australian curriculum. We would also have team meetings, broken into junior team meetings and senior team meetings, where an executive member would lead the team and work through the Australian curriculum with the teachers. The teachers found the mathematics Australian curriculum a lot easier than the English curriculum. They found that it was more set out, it was easy to follow the scope and sequences and what needed to be covered each year.
So I'm responsible for delivering the mathematics curriculum to the Year 4 students at this school because there is only one class. The Year 4 is divided up into the Mandarin learning students and the English students, or the English speaking straight students. So those 21 students go to Mandarin 2 days a week. That involves myself and the Mandarin learning teacher really getting together and planning the mathematics. It's a really great opportunity to consolidate the maths learning and to deliver mathematics with that Asian perspective as well. In using the Australian curriculum, I've found that it's really easy to make those cross-curriculum links, especially between maths and geography and history and other subjects. It's been really rewarding to see how well written the curriculum is and how it all fits in together, especially with a straight class and a straight year level, even with the challenges of the Mandarin program and two different programs running side by side. It's been really fantastic to make those links. I've also really discovered that it's really rewarding to work with another teacher who's focusing a lot on the priorities of the curriculum. So that Asian priority has really helped me to build up my knowledge in that area and to really determine what is going on with that priority and how we can implement it in the 5-day English classroom as well.
The first steps that Mawson Primary School took in regards to reporting was using the Australian curriculum in the areas of English and maths and weaving that into our school-based report that we hand out in semester 2. What we did was science and history really lent itself to our school-based report. We were able to use the achievement standards. Teachers were very comfortable with this process. We worked as a staff through our staff meetings to sit down and take those achievement standards apart and look at keywords that we could use to put into our school-based reports. The parent community was extremely happy with the reports that we sent home. It was parent-friendly language and we had good feedback from the community. We identified a need that all our classroom teachers were currently using their own planning documents. Trish Gherardello, our executive teacher, designed a number of templates in consultation with the staff through our staff meetings to work out what teachers would best like to use that would incorporate the Australian curriculum, that would incorporate our quality teaching as well.
Nikki and I joined forces in 2012. We came into an open plan unit and we had Year 5 and 6.
It presented some challenges having the composite class and having such distinct outcomes for Year 5 and distinct outcomes for Year 6. So we ended up timetabling it so that Trish became the 5-6 history teacher and I was the 5-6 science teacher. And we would stream it, so one day of the week I would take the Year 6s and do science with them, and Trish would have the Year 5s and do the history, and then the next day we would swap.
So to go further with that, it was necessary to come up with a programming document, and so a team of us led the staff through a series of 3 meetings. We used system tools to differentiate what was the most important thing that needed to be in a program to make it compliant, to use the Australian curriculum, but also to be a working document for teachers and a useful tool. The reason we did it was so that the staff would have buy into it, they would get what they thought was important and that they would have ownership and use the document.
We started with science and history because we thought they were probably 2 easier inroads to trial this, and after Trish and I had success doing it that way and with these new documents, we started to introduce it to the rest of the school. So as of last year, we started putting all teacher programs on our G Drive so that they were there for everyone to see.
One of the fantastic things about the Australian curriculum is on the ACARA website, the work samples that have been provided. Teachers have used those work samples to help assist with the moderation process. We've taken the work samples off, for example, in history for a Year 3 student. It goes through the achievement standards, and teachers are able to compare the work that has been completed at Mawson Primary School with the work samples that have been placed on the website by ACARA. At Mawson Primary School, we do have a transient population. We do have families that move down from Queensland that have been using a different system to us. I know from teachers and from the parents, they're extremely appreciative of the Australian curriculum and what it's done for their child. They feel confident when they come to a school in the ACT that they know that the curriculum is being continued, their child hasn't got any gaps in their learning, and that they're moving forward with success. The Australian curriculum has provided a lot of structure for our beginning teachers as well. They've got a document that they can go to, refer back to at all times. The information is there for them, the work samples is there for them. It has made teaching a much easier job.
Our goal has always been to provide our students with the best opportunities to achieve success in their learning. So using the Australian curriculum documentation has provided us with an opportunity to reflect on the work that has been done at our school, to take from the curriculum the essential skills, knowledge and understanding, to allow our teachers to be monitoring the progress of students, supporting each other in the delivery of the content of the curriculum, and maintaining their enthusiasm to provide students at our school with every success in their learning, to support them to become successful contributors to Australia.